So everybody, it's Ryan. I'm going to be calling this talking about a person's sex life during a psychosis. Um well, let's see, the last time I was in a psychosis was last year. During my psychosis, I talked about the man that wanted to rape me when I was little, named Chris, who said, "If you show me yours, I'll show you mine," and wanted me to get undressed in front of him. I talked about my first kiss named Emma, this mixed girl that I like named Kelly. Um, but Kelly turned me down. Um, and then she got with her boyfriend or something. Um, I also talked about my first girlfriend, Alicia. Um, who cheated on me with a boy named Austin. And then I talked about my second girlfriend, Brooke. And how she only performed oral sex on me. Um, and how I dated my fourth girlfriend, Nadia, and then how I fingered my fifth girlfriend, Sabrina, at my 17th birthday party. During my psychosis in 2020, I talked about my experiences with threesomes on my ex-girlfriend with blonde hair. Um, and I talked about how me and my friend James did about 15 threesomes on my ex-girlfriend with blonde hair during my psychosis, and I linked her YouTube channel. And I talked about how I did about 20 threesomes with a Russian boy. And I was in a blackout psychosis, and I messaged my ex-girlfriend during my blackout psychosis, and she blocked me. And then I got one mean message in my personal, in this Facebook account that I set up during my psychosis, and her friend told me not to mention her, or a charge will be coming my way, and things like that. During my psychosis, I believe that I was raped by a person when I wasn't. And I talked about how I felt like I was raped. There was this one boy that I was familiar with who messaged me, who I became friends with, and there was this boy who was a fan of the boy that I believed raped me, because the person who I believed raped me, has 8.29k subscribers on YouTube. 3 weeks ago, somebody uploaded a new video about the person that I believe raped me, and it has 138 views on YouTube. And there's this boy on YouTube, named Ryan, like me, who talks about him. And the boy that talks about him has 13.9k subscribers on YouTube. And my dad got a text message saying I needed to take my videos down and things like that, so I did, and delete my blog. And keep in mind, during my psychosis, all my videos had about 2 or 3 dislikes on my videos at a time, and I got mean comments from people, but I was in a psychosis, and I wasn't even aware of my surroundings during my psychosis. And I was sad that people dislike my videos and things like that. And keep in mind that people coincidences are real, even though I have severe paranoid schizophrenia. And I believe that I would appear on TV or in movies. Because the people coincidences are real, even though I have schizophrenia. And after my psychosis, my friend's wife unfriended me, and I got one mean message in my personal Facebook inbox from her, where I talked about my sex life during my psychosis. But my one friend who I talked about, who was my first threesome, is friends with me, and his wife is friends with me on my other Facebook. The boy who was my second threesome, who is a Russian boy, also messaged me, and said it was how pathetic I was. And see, the guy that I believed, raped me in my psychosis, made a video with Jeffree Star, the singer and makeup guy. And Jeffree Star has 16.39 million subscribers on YouTube. And during my psychosis, I would play music from Jeffree Star and things like that, and said that I don't like this guy that I believe raped me in my psychosis. And I talked about people, coincidence people, and this one boy who was a fan of this guy named Josh messaged me and said he wasn't going to re-upload any of my old psychosis videos, and I noticed that they're not out there in the dark web anywhere, or any messages from people. And during my psychosis, I wrote down that I hear voices, and I have paranoid schizophrenia, and I have hyper-religiosity as part of my schizophrenia, because the people coincidences are real all the time. And I thought I was going to jail when I would link my girlfriend's channel and talk about how she would cheat on me. And for a while on her channel it would say, if you're here because of my ex, move along, I press charges on him for harassment. And during my psychosis, I didn't know much about the law. I just did and said what the voices were telling me to do and say. And my girlfriend took me to court, and they said if I didn't show up to court, a warrant for my arrest would be issued. So I went to court, and it was just a peace order on her, that she got on me, for my psychosis. But my dad got, papers saying that they wanted to try and subpoena my computer from me and things like that, and all of that, and my dad was very mean to me, during my psychosis and things like that, and my dad played around with my disability money, during the coronavirus, and was very mean to me, and he told me that old stuff was more serious than this, and that I wouldn't go to jail. But see, my family is very mean and evil, and I was in a psychosis, and I felt like I was going to jail, and things like that, but my dad told me I wouldn't go to jail. But I didn't believe my dad because my family is mean and evil, and people dislike my videos and left me mean and nasty comments. And on Twitter, there's only one tweet of me, posted by this old transvestite man who would call and interview me, who wasn't my true friend, and he posted this tweet of me, and he's doing it to make his Twitter popular, and it has 18 retweets, 2 quote tweets, and 34 likes, and 2 people responded to it, and things like that, and there's no other mention of me or my name on Twitter anymore. And I talked about my whole sex life during my psychosis, and all of that. So people who are in a psychosis, may talk about sexual things or talk about their sex life, and if they do, I believe that it's common for people to talk about sex or their sex life in a psychosis. So I'm going to be calling this, talking about sex life, during a Psychosis vlog.